In this episode, I'm going to give you my fight prediction on the Kell Brook versus Errol Spence Jr. fight happening on May the 27th, 2017. Welcome to the DO Boxing Show. I'm your host, Dameon Okposio. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about my fight prediction for the much anticipated fight between the Special One. He changed his nickname from Special K to the Special One, Kell Brook, and Errol Spence, Errol the Truth Spence. And it's going to be a really interesting fight card. I believe it's going to be broadcasted in Canada around 3 p.m. The fight card is going to start, promoted by Matchroom and Matchroom Sports, and it's going to, I think the main event is going to end up being around 5 p.m. Unfortunately, I'm going to be having my Hall of Fame, Ontario Boxing Hall of Fame induction at that time, so I won't catch the original card, but hopefully I'll catch the rebroadcast. But as far as the makeup of the both fighters and my prediction about who's going to win, it's going to be, I think, a great card. Kell Brook is a solid fighter. He won the IBF title by beating Sean Porter, who is a very talented fighter as well at the welterweight category. This fight is going to be for the IBF welterweight world title, and that's the one that Kell Brook currently holds. Yes, he had a loss against Gennady Golovkin, but he moved up 2 weight classes, so his title wasn't affected. He is still the current IBF welterweight champion, and there's a few things about it. I think that number one, Kell Brook is I think he might be underestimating Errol Spence Jr. A little bit. He was talking in a press conference about chocolate brownies, which he was explaining is, hitting him in the chin is what a chocolate brownie is. But I think that he might be taking Errol Spence Jr. a little bit too softly because they haven't seen a lot of him in the pro ranks. So a lot of fighters, I find, just don't study fighters. One of the things about a lot of the great fighters like Mike Tyson early in his career used to study tons and tons and tons of fight tape, and that helps you become a better fighter. If you're interested in becoming a better fighter, you have to study all aspects of the game, not just work out, but watching other fighters allows you to see things coming, helps you prepare for the setup, and also, just allows you to understand strategy. The more you watch, I learned to break down a lot of fights from a guy named Donald Wombolt, amateur fighter, but his dad was bringing him to the Hall of Fame from when he was a kid, and he's watched tons and tons of fight film, and he's a person that can really break down what somebody is almost about to do because he watched so much fight film. He can almost predict what somebody's going to do, and it's really uncanny. So I find that improves your skill, and for me, I've adopted that as well. I watch tons and tons of fight film, watch tons of fighters, and it helps you study. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. I don't think that Kell Brook has studied Errol Spence Jr., who he's been a three-time national amateur champion at welterweight. But even before that, in high school, he used to be around, I think around 180 pounds. So, guys that were naturally big that come down, usually keep a lot of that natural strength. So even when they get smaller, they seem a lot stronger for their weight. The other thing with Errol Spence, he was on the Olympic team, 2012 Olympic team, and he made it to the quarterfinals of the Olympics. He's trained everywhere, and most notably at the money team gym in Las Vegas, where he got allegedly kicked out of camp for allegedly giving Floyd Mayweather Jr. a black eye. He allegedly stopped Adrian Broner in a sparring session, and to give Mayweather a black eye when we all know that Mayweather is one of the best defensive fighters maybe ever. I don't think that's something that can be understated. The other thing is Kell Brook is taking a very tough fight after losing, albeit a spirited fight against Gennady Golovkin, but in breaking, I think he broke his orbital bone. He definitely had to take some time off after that fight, and to come back without a tune-up, I don't think is a good idea. Guys that have come down in weight to fight at a lower weight class, especially when they don't have a lot of fat to lose, have customarily been very lethargic in their performances. Roy Jones Jr. against Antonio Tarver after coming down from fighting and defeating John Ruiz. Most recently, Chavez Jr. when he went down to fight Canelo Alvarez. Chavez Jr. was very lethargic. And even Canelo Alvarez, when Canelo Alvarez dropped weight to fight Floyd Mayweather, some of that could be attributed to, the slickness of Floyd Mayweather, but some of it might be attributed to Canelo dropping below where his natural weight was, and maybe being a little bit lethargic and listless. He didn't throw a lot of punches in that fight. So I think that does take something away from you when you don't have a lot of fat to lose and you're coming down from a higher weight class. You're going up to a heavier weight class and then coming back down to a lower weight class. I think that does take something out of you, and maybe there has to be a little bit more of an adjustment period. I think Kell Brook could have done with a tune-up fight to just feel himself out before taking on a tough fight like Errol Spence Jr. And that's all those reasons culminated, I believe, is why Errol Spence Jr. is going to win. Not that Errol Spence Jr. is not talented, because he's extremely talented, but I think that there's a lot of things that are going in his favor. As far as going into Kell Brook's hometown crowd, I don't think that that's going to affect anything. Most professionals, especially if they fought on the international scene, that's not even an issue. You look at so many guys, Steve Molitor, went to the UK and defeated Michael Hunter in front of a passionate hometown crowd. So I think that the guys that are world class, that doesn't even affect them as far as fighting in somebody else's backyard. So my prediction, May 27th, I think Errol Spence Jr. he's probably going to win by stoppage, and I'm going to say it might be a TKO in the 10th round. Errol Spence Jr. TKO in the 10th round, and looking forward to listening to the other fight predictions that are going to be out there. Looking forward to seeing how the fight unravels. I'm also looking forward to this weekend, Saturday, May 27th, with the Boxing Expo, the trade show during the day, the induction dinner 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. At Boston Pizza, and then the fights later on that night at the Hansa House Hall. So the Boston Pizza, we're already full there, but you can always still pay at the door to come out to the boxing trade show or to go to the fights in the evening. So hopefully we'll see you there. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Remember, you can ask us any question related to boxing by sending us a message through Twitter at DOKPOSIO, through email okposio@hotmail.com, and don't forget to subscribe to get every episode of the DO Boxing Show. Thanks for tuning into this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one.